some, it may be the legacy of fame or the luxury of fortune. But for many, if not most artists, I think they create because they have to. In the absence of creative endeavors, some broken part of their subconscious wells up and presses against other functions of the mind, disrupting them. This quickly becomes a curse as the desperate rattle of a painting or novel or album drowns out all other thoughts. Days or weeks are lost while plumbing the depths and branching ideas of possibilities. The torturous frustration as the clumsy body fails to recreate into reality the immaculate vision of the mind. But the highs, oh those highs, when art flows and you are a conduit for lightning, when knowledge, skills, and training finally align into a perfect focus, turning random, diffuse light into a hot, fast laser beam. This is the feeling of immortality, the feeling that seems to justify this brief, fragile existence. So open that release valve, just a little bit, and let the demons play for a while.
Oh no! Oh no!
Daphne, thank you so much for the subscription. And wait, who was the other one? Heckin' tier 2 subscription as well. Thank you. And Nurgle, thank you for 17 months, 17 tails of subscription. Yes. Good morning, Zafri. Good morning, Snow, Turga, Nurgle. Let's just delete that message. Good morning to Sigil, to Iki, to Turga. I know I saw Ruru is lurking. Ooh, my throat. Apparently I wasn't talking enough yet this morning. Pat the Void. Oh yeah, we still have Pat the Void. I'll update that to something later. Let's see. I still need to finish this someday. I want to do the little card. What team am I joining for Art Fight? I feel a bit obligated to join one of them. And that's understandable, Turga. Thank you for the lurk. Why is Mal so excited about this stream compared to normal? I just saw Mal's react in the library. You get Stardust it is that? Yeah. Look. My brain, please. My primary character is connected to basically a space dragon. You're still arguing if you should join Art Fight this year. You can join and then just attack if and when you have time and motivation. There's nothing that says that you can't join. Then if you don't end up submitting anything, it's not like you get punished. There's no obligation. You aren't required to revenge attack everyone who draws anything for you. You're not required to revenge attack anybody that draws art for you. I don't know if I'm going to this year. I might. It's all going to depend on how many I can get done. Heck, I might also still be drawing some revenge attacks from last year. I just wish Art Fight didn't keep happening while I was injured, sick, or some other thing. You should at least join and get out. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with joining and picking a team. And I'm going to try to do this year the thing that I've never done. Alright, where actually is it though? I don't actually know. Or assets, probably. No. Here we go. Save image as. We'll save this. Technically, this is June. Yeah, we'll save it to June. This is what we're going to be working on today. I've never actually done one before. I'm always too lazy to do so. But I'm going to attempt this year. I don't know. Don't know what I'm doing. I am just a person. Just trying to get through day by day. All right, let's go find some material to fill this thing out with. Thank you for the head pat. Oh, this icon doesn't have the two-toned eyes. As much as I love this icon, I feel like the theme is Stardust versus Seafoam. Yes. I will leave this here for now. Actually, could I just go in and but yeah, I guess I missed a bunch of the intro stuff for stream today. How's everyone doing? I'm definitely very organized. Definitely. Nobody can prove otherwise. I think Stardust is going to be very popular. See a few artists you follow already join that group. I mean, it's space. What do you expect? People like space. Enjoying the Final Fantasy XIV 7.0 update. Though you still have to finish MSQ? What's MSQ? You join Team Seafoam so you can attack all the Stardust people, but space... I mean, you're allowed to attack people on the same team. Stardust is over Seafoam by like 15k users currently, yeah. Hi, Ruru. welcome back. Now that you're here, I can just go morph. All the trans girls joined space themed team. Some of the NBs did too. NBs too. I forgot how fun it can be to have colored line art. Like, the line art here isn't black, it's purple. I gotta do that more. It's purple with a bit of pink around the actual void stuff. The line art, correct, it is not black. Now it's black. It's a very subtle difference. I don't know why being NBA trans comes with an affinity for space, but you guess you got double hit then. I also got triple hit by that between Cosmic Dragon, Trans, and NB. Also, I can add in Glitch Saber as a fourth. This is fine. This is fine.
Flames spread along the ground, catching fire to everything. Far as you could see, there was smoke.
Teams get revealed and just going, I know exactly what Sierra would pick. Yeah, I think everyone knows what Sierra will pick. Why are you guys clicking on the throne list anyway? Why am I putting so much time into just the I don't know, but this is where we're okay, I had not seen that emote before. That is indeed a look. Am I concerned? Should I be concerned? What threw me off was that Turga was looking at it first. You ever bully me? I am not answering that question. That is a trap. I was like asking if Runery or Iki have ever bullied me. Just, oh my god. Please, no. You should draw Sierra with big clobs more often. Sorry. I just looked over to like the Twitch page where I can see if I get whispers and stuff, and I got one from question mark. That is a bot that sent me a message and has been deleted. Like, the account has been removed since they sent it to me. Within the last 20 minutes. Also, Iki, no. I don't know how that was your takeaway from that, but no. Okay. Brunery. Shush. Do not enable the Iki. Don't make me draw a bunch of art fight attacks at you. Rune has enabled Iki and VSync. So pixely. No. I am calling a no on that. We are going to file, import, create file object. Shortcut, ref sheets, Sierra Leone's. Gonna add friend to my character roster? I already did. Also, hello again, KofiBot. You have been re-linked to Twitch. Baps friend. Friend just places Paul on your face. Should you know who you're going to attack first? What? Why me when there's a perfectly good runery right over there? He. Let me think of it. Speaking of Throne, or earlier you guys were talking about Throne. Did I ever reconnect my Throne to my Twitch account after I updated stuff? That's why the Ko-fi bot, for example, just got reconnected. Now you guys have me thinking about it. It looks like. Oh, there's a dark mode. Turning that on. Wait, what? I'm gonna order a thing. Alright, yep. Return to art program, tap this. Figure out which character I am marking down next. Can I say, when I was looking through stuff, I came across this image. The sketches of this character. And I still love this design, so I just added it to the art fight page. Just saw that. I was like, when did this happen? I think I uploaded the sketches to it to the Discord a while ago. If I didn't, then I'm going to have to do so. Yeah, it was uploaded to the Discord on May 15th. I low-key really like this. The face pattern here is combining the dragon's marking that's like this And Friend has markings that I think just kind of go off the eye or something, and then down the face. But I legitimately like the combined marks here. I like that shape a lot. How it kind of comes off the eye as well. And I'd be lying if there wasn't a temptation to kind of give them to the dragon. Because the dragon has always been meant to have, like, Sierra's markings. Like, the Sphinx has this marking. Very simple. The dragon's comes down, has a sharp up, and then goes down. You can kind of see it on the avatar, but the avatar is a bit of an older example before I really refined it. Martin, why are you shouting me out? Hold on. Sorry, Martin shouted me out and I had to, But Martin was showing off art I made for her. Anyway, but yeah, there has been temptation to give at least one of the dragons this. I really like it. I don't know if it would work as well without all the additional markings. But, I mean, in reality, there's no rule that says I can't use those additional markings. I could always give the Cosmic Dragon a bit more complex markings to differentiate them. I don't know. Iki wants to do something productive, but Iki needs to rest. Techies. Iki should rest. Iki should treat themselves. Does Iki have some... I was gonna say, does Iki have some ice cream to munch on? But I don't know if... I know some people can't have ice cream. Can Iki have ice cream? Does Iki have some treat that... Something that Iki can treat themselves with? Thank you for the head pat, Snow. Well, for nomming on the tail. Also, this is such lower resolution than I'm used to working in. I'm not used to things getting this blurry. Look at that. The actual... ref sheet has pretty clear detail all the way up to here. Why don't I just increase the size of the card? They're realistically, there is no point in posting it any bigger than it already is. Plus, if they want to see the characters bigger, they could just go to the art fight page. It is just throwing me off. Ace-Gay, no, I want Ace-Gay too. I don't want Ace-Gay to be the final slot. Because Ace-Gay is my only human character. Well, he's mostly human. He doesn't even have a tail. He's also an idiot. But that's besides the point. I just like reminding people of that fact. Iki can't have a treat as a treat, but Iki... Why can't Iki have a treat as a treat? Okay, for the final two slots, I've got Sao, Friend, and Dragon to put in there. Intermittent fasting? Oh, that's fair. Does Iki have a game Iki likes playing? No, you said you were supposed to rest. Unrelated. I did end up... I swapped out one of the Sierra images and just put in this as one of them. Just to see if anyone does anything with it throughout Art Fight. This one's been one of my references on there since last year. And I still just really enjoy this. The body has a twist in it that should not be. But in the end, I kind of get why it happened, just due to Sierra's got the wings, the tail. They made Sierra a bit larger than normal. Low-key, I love that people have started doing that. I don't ask for it. And they're just like, I know Sierra likes big, so make Sierra a bit bigger. And I'm just like, not gonna complain. But also, this is just good size. Sierra can be big as a dream. Yeah. Probably not, but you could be wrong. Probably not towards what? Oh, the form I showed, the Tar? I'm sure there are some people that like Tar. Whether or not they're going to be an art fight and choose to draw Sierra is a completely separate thing. But that image was received as an art fight thing in the first place, so... I wish I had better references for Sao. Imagine not being flexible enough to rotate 180, shaking your head. Look, what when I was showing people that, I was just like, a bit of like, that was right after we added. That was right after I added in the. Right after I added in some of the Noodle Dragon elements. And so it's just like, yeah, there's just a bit of the Noodle Dragon twist in there. And no, if you go up to the, what is it, help? Yeah, if you go at the top of the site, go to help, and then news, it should be in the latest news post. Yeah, I don't have any good references for Sao. Most of my stuff for Sao is black and white. Let me check my Sao toy house. Like, I don't even have any good colored images showing off the, Paul Pad effect. Or showing off just that that the Paul Pads glow, aside from, like, this one. I already have this one on there. Why do I, for as much as I enjoy drawing Sao, why do I have so few references for Sao? Got the Sao folder on my computer. Anything else? Can you upload animated files as references? Because I'm gonna be completely honest. This would be an interesting reference to have as like a demonstration of the nanites. Sao can be a narrative-oriented character if she wants to be as a treat. I mean, look, Sao, the two versions of Sao are described as narrative Sao and post-narrative Sao. Narrative Sao is when, like the whole thing with the main big AI writing out the story to make Sao a queen. I think Sao's like physically like 23 or something in that, because it decided that young 20s would be a proper age. Post-narrative Sao is basically everything after that, and the Sao that I generally draw nowadays, where there is no big AI leading it. She is 30. And she just has the personal nanites that do things. Oh, this one could work. It's like, it's not the best reference, but it shows the Paul Pads. Like, why don't the nanites repair the ripped jeans? Because they are aesthetically ripped. They're like the style of jeans that you buy from the store pre-ripped. Like, this one has the glowy paw pads and everything, but it only has one tail, and she is too thin. She has no weight along the waist. Also, her nose is purple. Why is her nose purple here? I did give her golden claws. I love giving her golden claws. It's not something I do all the time, but... for funsies, I mean, I do enjoy giving characters colored noses. This one is fun, but again, doesn't show the glowy paw pads. Doesn't show much of the character, honestly. It's like, it's got a good Queen Sao vibe. But... yeah, just unfortunately, I don't have much colored Sao. Like, so much of it is just... pencil sketches, because I just draw Sao for myself. And I don't typically color my personal stuff. Nothing wrong with just sketches? There's not. I love sketches. They don't make for great art fight references. I am still just super happy with how these sketches came out. Like this whole little comic thing. It was just fun to draw. Because Sao's an overpowered character. So it's fun to put her next to an even more overpowered character. Seen people use their sketches and do a digital color palette showing what is colored what. People seem okay with that. If I can remember to... if I can remember to, at some point, I should really just try to finish this ref that I had started. I just haven't gotten that far. Why don't you ramble about Kitsune Deep Lore? I would. I really would, but I really shouldn't. I know everyone enjoys hearing the Sao lore. Like, last year on Art Fight, one of the where is it? This was done by a Texan Irish. It is just the dragon with the Sao lore in its little special case in the library. Which definitely tells me that I've spent a lot of time talking about the story that is behind Sao. Still surprised that I ever talked about it at all, because that was one of those ones that I was super embarrassed to, or like super self-conscious about. because it is just such an, I guess, a self-indulgent character. Like, most of my characters run so low-powered, reserved, and everything, and Sal's just over here just like, she's overly curvy because that is the quote-unquote conventional beauty, because that's what the AI thought. She's overpowered. She has like the whole, she just wins. And I don't know, I had so much anxiety about that character that I never thought I would talk about it. The AI has good opinion. It's funny because I actually don't, like, when it comes to me and how I identify, I don't like drawing myself with big curves. If I try that, it no longer feels like me. I think one of my favorite just versions of Sierra I've drawn, let me see if I can find it, was honestly this one in a Dono Doodle for Flow. I just liked how this came out. It is pretty accurate to my actual body type, with a bit of chest, shoulders wider than the hips and everything. And I don't know, I like how it looks. I like keeping a lot of the assigned male at birth elements in Sierra. Unless it's like the dragon. Look, dragon just has big hips. I like them aesthetically. The Sphinx has my body type dragon, just no chest, big hips. Which is ironic considering with the HRT, I got the opposite of that. I've gotten some chest, but I've gotten no hips. Right, so I've had Sal up there for a few years, and I have Sierra. So let's definitely get Fren on here. Yeah, lucky HRT is currently putting all on your hips and nothing. You see, I don't want a lot of chest. If I had to choose between the two, I'd rather the hips. Like I said, I like hips aesthetically. Gaining hips through HRT is more appealing to me than gaining chest through HRT. But I don't know. I'm not gonna complain. I'm happy with my progress so far. Fren, yes. Fren, I also ran into the issue where most of the art of Fren is in comics. Can I say it feels weird how low Chris is on the list now? Like, I still love Chris and Chris's design. The reality of it is, though, that I don't use Chris for much anymore. I don't really draw Chris very often. And I should. Yeah, we got the 2 Sierras, Glitch Saber, because I've been really enjoying the Glitch Saber recently. I had to decide which order these two go in. Eisuke, Cat, Chris, and some minor characters. I have, oh yeah, it's all Aerolith Zane. How long ago did I upload this? Created in 2018, that explains it. And Lodione, who surprisingly did get some attacks. People actually went and drew Lodione, despite Lodione's just overly complex design. Haven't seen Lodione in a while. To be fair, I haven't drawn many of the Crystal District characters much. I don't know what to do with them. Eisuke kind of got... I use Eisuke sometimes as a, like a TF character, because I don't want Sierra to be a TF character, so I needed, like... Look, if you want a character of mine to interact with that causes or can be TF'd, use Eisuke or Cat. Leave Sierra alone. Because Eisuke has, I kind of... Let's see, where is Eisuke? Eisuke, Mauve, or Aloria? There's no submissions in... Oh, of course not. Is Eisuke just kind of play up that playfulness, that naivety that he has, and the fact that he is so traumatized and hides all of it behind smiles because he doesn't want to think about it. Eisuke wasn't meant to be a traumatized character. He just, through Halana and... Oh, what was Clover's character's name? Oh, I can't remember. And hecking Wiki Foundry went down, so I can't even check anymore. But Eisuke learned that even though he is invulnerable, the people around him aren't. And not everything can be undone, even if you have stupidly OP powers. It's fine if he gets a bit of his own medicine. Where's the Pokemon one? I love the Pokemon one. I think I just called it Card Games. Nope. Hold on. We didn't end up talking about Kitsune noises. We didn't end up talking about Kitsunes. We're talking about my closest to human character on this list. Someone trying to explain to Eisuke how card games work. or how the Pokemon trading card game works. He finds it boring. So he does it his own way instead. Then gets confused why people are throwing fake Pokeballs at him. Can I say Eisuke? Eisuke is just so dense. I love him. He is also a character that, by so many means, should go by any all pronouns, because he is so comfortable in any body and will happily identify as any. But he just has in his head that he was born male, so he is he, him. He has no issues understanding it for other people. He just does understand it for himself. "3C Barstar, thank you so much for the 2 months of subscription. How are you doing today?" And good morning, Watcher Dragon. I'm doing well. Oh, Rano, since you are here, where did... Oh, I lost my art fight tab. Did you see the drawing of Cross I got a few years ago through Art Fight? I uploaded Cross, and it's actually the very first attack I got on Art Fight. It is just... I love the image so much. Hey Eevee Sparta, how's it going? It's like, I'm pretty sure they caught it as I was uploading it, because like the most recent characters used to show up on the homepage. I don't know if they still do. But they saw it and left the comment of, "I love how strong this lady looks. Didn't have colors to go off of, so I shaded her instead. Hope you like it." And I loved it so much. It is... Cross is a character I barely got to use. But I still love Cross as a character, especially concept-wise. And just the fact that because of the species, the same species that Nameless was, they had the whole thing where the longer she fought, the faster she got. And eventually her body speed would start outpacing the robotic arm. So she was constantly breaking the robotic arm, and that's why right now she doesn't have one. That's the whole reason. Like, she just keeps breaking it, so half the time she doesn't have the second arm. I had a storied reason how she lost it. Obviously she lost it in a fight somehow. But she just gets annoyed at them, so she has learned to just deal with things with one arm for a lot of the time. I want to do more with Cross. I need to. I don't know what to do with Cross, but... Cross was fun, though. Like that time that she threw the heckin' sword at Dalton. Because she heard that Dalton wanted to learn how to fight. some young Cross back when she had 2 arms, with some young Nameless back before his body got wrecked by his illness. She was designed that she was a lot stronger than him, but because his body had the thing where it ramped up, it spiked so quickly, he was just faster, but burned himself out really quickly. Which are details I figured out far later into Nameless's story, by taking all the established details and trying to figure out how I could work them together without needing to retcon too much. But by that point, he was just a sleepy dad. He never fought anymore, so I never got to really do anything with that. Nameless. My very first character. Oh, here's the original Cross sketch. With the fun trivia, back when I first started drawing, whatever the heck this broadsword design is something that I drew a lot before I could draw people and such. Do I have any old art that includes it? Some really, really old art. Not that I could see. But basically, I took that, I wanted to take that old, silly anime sword design and reuse it, so I kind of just gave it to this new character I made for Nameless's backstory. And then I never did anything with that. And it wasn't until I brought Cross back a few years later that I introduced Cross, and with, that was with this sketch. Not that one. Not that one. Where is it? With this one. Fun fact that also never got explained. The sword is a gun. I don't know why the sword is a gun, but the sword just... it was a gun. Yeah, it was... that's why it has the thing on the handle here. This is the trigger to switch it over to gun mode. You can see that in not the old sketches, but any of the newer ones with the more recent design. It has that trigger on the handle. That's what that was. Because even before that old design, there was a previous design, which we're going back to some old 2008 Sierra art. Where Sierra probably had read too much anime or read too much manga or something and designed this really bad sword that opened up into a gun. That was one of the very first things on my original DeviantArt account. I eventually switched that over to the big broadsword kind of style, where it still opened up a little bit, but not nearly so much and awkwardly. And I never did anything with it until I brought it back across. I want to do more with Cross. Cross was fun. I don't know if I ever would have shown off the gun in it, because I have no idea how I would have not made it look completely silly. Oh, I remember when she was first introduced to the site, the whole thread of her meeting other people, she couldn't understand anyone because she didn't have a translator yet. Because she is technically an alien. Her and Nameless both are. She didn't know the language of illusion. This is the last sketch I have on my DeviantArt of her. This one was done on a phone. But once again, you can see the little handle there. She never actually holds it in that area, which is the... Like, if it was a hand brace, I probably would have drawn her holding it there. But it was never intended to be that. It was intended to be just, like, a trigger. Nameless had to make something for her so she could understand that was the intent, but I don't think we ever got that far. I think that thread kind of either ran into, like, either it stalled or it unfortunately overlapped with timing where the site fell apart. I don't remember. I don't think we ever got to the point where Cross actually got to meet up with Nameless. But that was the original plan. Because Nameless has had a translator that was Nameless in his original introduction so many years ago was a planet hopper. He jumped between planets and eventually settled down on what was at the time known as Shadow Planet. Leo, that is such a silly name. I hope Leo's doing well. I haven't spoke with her in years. He used it to vacation when he entered Dad's. That's right, he did go on vacations. Look, he was retired. He got old. Like, he was in his 20s when I introduced him. Like, early 20s, maybe late teens. With all the time skips, he was in, like, his late 40s, early 50s by the end. See her on Facebook and ads and such. She's doing dog tricks now. Okay, I don't use Facebook, so... She's doing dog tricks. Like, dog training, or... What do you mean by dog tricks? I remember back in the day she was doing, like, animal photography. Kronos and Terra. Oh. Like 3 times a year, mostly check on people like her. She trains them to do commercials. Oh, that's really cool. Bella passed away. Oh. It's like the main one I remembered. I didn't remember the name until you said it, but as soon as you did, I can see. I'm pretty sure I can see which. That was the one that had like one eye had a darker spot area over it, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Couldn't have said the bicolored eyes. Okay, maybe that was what I remembered. Was that? Was yeah. Hey, Rana, do you remember this? That was the very first sketch of Nameless. That was like OG Galaxy Void. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're... Oh, do you remember back when I, hacking the comic with, like, Kurai, and Caliber and such in it? I have some pretty old versions of it, but I don't have the originals, like the old versions, because I never posted them to DeviantArt or anything. They were only posted to my profile page on the original Galaxy Void site. Yeah, those are all gone. Like there's no recovering them, unfortunately. They are lost media. I wish I had, but this is how things go. Also, I looked back through things a few months ago, and I realized how bad of a track record I had with turning so many of my guy characters into girls, at least temporarily. Ace Skate did it all the time. Nameless definitely had it. Keitaro was a girl for a bit. Kurai never did. Caliber never did. What were some of my other characters on there? That did happen a lot. It's almost like I was hiding something from myself. Nirai. I am genuinely surprised you remember him, because I have a photo of him on the screen right now. Not one from the site, but that's an old photo of Nirai there. Legitimately surprised you remember him, because I did very little with him. I mentioned the super old versions of the original comic. The only remnant I really have is, at one point, I was just like, I should draw a comparison of the new and old version of Caliber. Even though what was considered the new version then is now considered the old version. And I drew this. This was a design that only existed back then. Back when he was going to be an antagonist. Then he got, like, the really long hair with the really big shirt collar. Which was intended to be a disguise. I really don't have any art of that old sword design. I was hoping if I glanced through my gallery I'd find it. I'm just not. I could have sworn I put it onto at least one of my characters for a little bit, but... maybe. What's the most recent art of Caliber? Oh god, it's from like 2017. I've done so little with these characters. I'm relatively happy how the designs evolved. Like, Caliber probably looks the most normal. Sharkbait, you forgot about her? Yeah. Kurai over here, who I think got renamed. Nope, still says Kurai. He still has the eye patch, and that's about the only thing that's the same. He basically has a I'm going to wear what I want and you're gonna deal with it attitude towards his look. He still has the same power set though. In the comic, he was going to not be aware of it at the beginning. These are characters that most people don't know about. Back in the day, I've said many times that I started art with the intent to do webcomics. And these were the characters that were going to be in my webcomic. The main character, his ability, because certain people in this world had abilities. His ability was he was a doppelganger. But each of his eyes, like, he needed to make eye contact with someone to do it, and each of his eyes functioned differently. His right eye could copy someone's physical appearance, whereas the left one would be able to copy the like all the memories and thoughts of it. But he could only copy up to the point that he made the eye contact. So it's not like he could read their mind if he like met up with them face to face. Little things like if they were facing off against each other, what the other person saw behind him and what he saw behind them would be different, so they'd have different information of like the stage that they're facing off at, and that would make them act differently. It was a whole thing, but he keeps it covered because originally it was just blind, but later on, because he doesn't want to just be able to accidentally copy people's thoughts and such. Hi, Igric. Oof, this image is rough. He's got a little. He has a little bit of the hair streak in it now, though. I forgot I added that because as time went, as things kind of were reworked, he became he has the spirit in him. So sometimes he struggled to, like, sometimes the fox would leak out. Like this little comic, where it's like completely human, getting annoyed at his brother if the ears pop out. The fox Nisei designed. I think Nisei disabled their account. To be fair, his brother was a little. Well, this is Kurai. In the comic, they were adopted brothers. This is before he knew of Itsumo. A lot of people did with the AI thing. And so the fox design is no longer in my favorites. So I think I had it somewhere, but I have to just find it. You drew the fox person? Yeah, there's just nothing on their page anymore. Oh, wait. Apparently, it is in one of my backups within backups on my computer. This is Calibur's design. This is Calibur's fox form. Also a thing I need to draw more of, because this is just a really heckin' good design. Like, legitimately, I love how this looks. It's just... Nisei did such a good job. Save it. Yeah, I'm going to move it over to the Calibur folder, where I tend to keep all my characters. The design of Mina is still one of your favorites you have? Yeah, Nisei is also the person that designed Lodione's form, like the adopt. Hold on. All right, now you can send that link. What's there? I don't know if I have that one either, but I'm saving it to the folder. Kin was a brat. To be fair, I feel like Kin was a hundreds-of-year-old spirit that had been improperly improperly banished, resulting in him being sealed in a human's body, and that slowly corrupting the human. And only to find out that every time the corruption got far enough that they turned fully into a fox, or kitsune themselves, I don't remember which, or that human died, he just got yeeted into another human that was just being born. And on the most recent pass, he got yeeted into a set of twins. So half of him ended up with one twin and half of him ended up with the other twin. Which is why he's kind of half shadowy. Also, he is the reason that he is the reason that Caliber is slowly turning into a fox. The kin that you see typically looks like this. These are really old sketches, but as you can see, the right half of him is there. The kin that is with his brother is the other half. Come on, DeviantArt, please work. Is the left half of the fox. Itsumo was also a brat. Itsumo knew about Caliber, but Caliber didn't know about Itsumo. I don't remember why. Itsumo's an antagonist. Like, he's not evil, but he is an antagonist. He was designed to be one of those antagonists that is a hurdle in some way or another, even though, like, they're not trying to destroy, kill, hurt, or anything, the protagonists, but he is getting in their way. Whether it was just that he decided he wanted his brother back, so he wanted to pull Caliber away from the others, or something like that. Something about making sure Caliber got stronger and watched over him from a distance. That was, I do believe that was how it was for the site, but that was modified just for that. In the comic, it would have been different. But I never finished the narrative of the comic anyway, so, One of my favorite details about him, though, is he was constantly... His, previous host had been an older person, so much of his detail, like, so much of his knowledge and stuff is just so out of date. Though he has learned and such, but he will often refer to things from decades past and, like, think things are still the same way. But that meant his human disguise was also years out of date. We're just... Oh, these are such old and bad sketches. Just had, like... Just, like, the bowler hat, the suit, the cane. Would ever like Fox Beards that are out of date with the times? You'd probably get along with Zakuro, to be fair. They could both, like, just talk about their destroyed temples. Because I never thought about it, but he probably had one back in the day. He also had a height complex because he is tiny. First time Caliber got turned into a full fox. Caliber as an Anthrofox. I don't think this would ever be canon. I think he'd have been more likely to start turning full fox before like just going Anthro. But I really liked the design that Nisei made, so I wanted to draw an Anthro version of it at least once. Still love this hoodie. It's based on an actual hoodie I had at one point. This was the time where Chris was also just being drawn in so many different outfits. And when Zane was also being drawn in different outfits. Oh yeah, the Peridot Dynasty. I didn't know what I was doing with Chris. I genuinely tried my best at the time to follow a narrative path of Chris trying to figure things out. Did I do a good job? Probably not. It just seemed like the thing that would happen was after a certain amount of time, he would try, well, maybe I'd feel better about it if I wore stuff that is actually designed for it. He eventually realized it didn't work, but... And yes, Skirt Zane. I actually painted this one at one point. We are so off topic, I'm fine with it. Gender's messy, it happens. I just feel bad because I know it back at the time how I handled it. Despite my best efforts, I had hurt people. I try to do better nowadays. It wasn't painted well. Because I'm terrible with paint. But it was me experimenting with gouache paints. Where is it? Create new from clipboard. Here it is. Also, hello, Reynard. It's in the past, All we can do is acknowledge what was done and strive to do better. Heaven knows you not create a non-binary rep in the past, despite being very non-binary now. What's funny when it comes to Chris was one of the suggestions back then was to make Chris just naturally transmask and assign female at birth. And because of my own gender stuff, I couldn't do that. But when I look at it nowadays, like knowing more about myself, and I look at the character, I'm just like, God, the character actually does just work so much better as an AFAB transmask, and I should have done that from the start. But my brain was clouded by stuff my parents shoved into it. Also, it was so difficult trying to write Eisuke to have like romantic stuff for Dalton, because I am very, very much aromantic, aromantic asexual. But I tried my best, and these two characters were fun together. Do I have any more kin sketches? I want to I want to find more Kin sketches. What about, like, do I have a... I should have a folder for Kin. That just has, this one image in it. Consult with the experts in the field of what you're trying to write. If you know someone who has that experience, when you could consult them for edits and to add realism. You see, the thing is, at the time, I did know several trans people and had kind of conferred with them. But there were two problems. Like, I ran everything past the trans people I knew. But one, everyone's trans experience is different. And two, all of the trans people I knew were trans femme. I didn't know any trans masks to run it past, and I was essentially trying to write a trans mask character. So there was bias and differences of experiences. Let's see, do I have a Kin pure ref? No, I thought I did. The problem is that searching up Kin on my hacking... in my hacking search thing, Kin is just in so many file names because anything that ends with K-I-N-G. Trans men do seem to be somewhat outnumbered in most of the places, you know? Anything I can say here is going to be painted entirely from where I view things, like, from what I have seen, and I know my experience is assigned male at birth, trans femme being most of the people I know being trans femme. Though I do know multiple trans masks now. Including my little brother, who figured out he was trans before I did. But it's... So, like, I have, like, 3 different... or 2 or 3 things that just popped into my head for that, and I'm just like... No, I'm not gonna say them. Yeah, my little brother, he figured out he was trans a few years before I figured out I was trans. I really want to, take one of the sketches I have. Is this it? Nope, that's Arya and Eisuke. I saw a file called Sibling Love, and... basically, it's a folder of... or not a folder. I have a drawing of me kind of teasing him, but it was years ago, back before either of us had transitioned, and I don't know if he knew he was trans at that point, but hadn't told me yet. But so his Sona at least was still presenting femme at the time, so it was just a picture of Mask presenting Sierra, teasing femme presenting, like, both pre-transition basically. And I want to redraw that with both of us in our updated characters post-transition, because it just, I don't know, it seems like a fun thing to do. I can't remember his username. Wait. I go to general sharing. Looking through old stuff. Yeah, here it is. Just me teasing little sibling. There's actually two of them that were very similar. Oh, I'm just going through this thread and seeing old characters and old art. You love the crosshatch style? Thank you. I enjoy crosshatching. It's a bit rough on my hand though. Have some very old cross art. Here's the other one. I think when I redraw it, it would be much more playful kind of head ruffles rather than just teasing. Like, in reality, he'd probably still make angry noises at me if I did it. But also in reality, I don't think I could bring myself to head ruffle him in person. Oh, I closed the other one I wanted. But yeah, this one... Because you remember how Nameless always had his little gadgets? And, like, the whole thing with Nameless... He was albino in a species that was generally dark. So he kind of really stood out. He was weak. This was going to be basically young him still on the original planet before he left. Kind of just starting out at building things, very crude and whatnot, and kind of trying to find a way to overcome his his weaknesses through using low devices. The juicer. Note to past self. Pointing out a problem does not make it go away. What's this character's name again? Oh, this is technically Kurai. This is Kurai copying. It was either one of Rano's or one of Tem's characters. I didn't get to know this character that much. It still has the other eye in it. Kurai's other eye doesn't have a pupil in it. It's actually, like, it's blind. One of Dynasty's daughters. That's it. Like, I recognize the design, I just never got to know them well enough to, sorry, I just was thinking back to those characters, and it's just like, I loved the shade that Lodione would throw at Dynasty sometimes. And then Dynasty would also, like, throw shade back. But it was... because Dynasty is a singular domain, broad-reaching goddess. Fallen goddess, I don't know what her current state is. She had, her domain was space, I believe. Space, stars, all of that kind of stuff. Lodione was a local deity. She only controlled, like, she only had power and influence over, like, the small area that she controls. But she didn't have a specific domain. She was an all-around just local deity. So they had very conflicting viewpoints on things. And it was fun to have them kind of, like, bash heads on them sometimes. And they had differing views on how to raise or how to train Zane. I don't remember what the differing views were, but I remember Zane had more access, like had gained. If I remember right, Zane had more, took after Dynasty more, whereas Io took more after Nameless. Dynasty got so salty about her stepping into Trainer Kid. I mean, I don't blame her. Like, I don't blame Dynasty for being salty about that. Lodione was just kind of being, Lodione just was... Lodione was just kind of overstepping and being like, you're doing it wrong, let me do it. Because if I remember right, wasn't Dynasty very hands-off on training Zane? I learned on my own, he'll be fine. Yeah, until Zane accidentally burns down a building or something. Growing pains. My dad is off fighting. Mom still doesn't quite get how things work on Illusion yet. Plus, she's too busy arguing with Lodione. My twin sister Io left the planet on a set of robotic wings. And so that leaves me. After all, somebody's gotta keep this place in check. That's right, he had such a, what's it called, where it feels like well, you have power, therefore it is your responsibility to basically fix things, to take care of things, like, and if you don't, that is a sense of duty. He I think it's like the it's like, I think it's like superhero syndrome or something. Savior complex? Maybe? I don't know. But basically he felt like with everyone else leaving, he and him being a demigod, he felt so obligated to try to just fix everything. And he wasn't very good at it. But this was all hypothetical stuff anyway, since they were still quite young when the site went down. He just... God, I look back at some of these characters and I'm just like, yeah, there were signs for some of the things that I was in such denial about, but yeah, if I remember right, the reason why he was bigger than EO, or just Aerolith in general, had more markings and took after brain, please. He was bigger than he should have been. He had more markings, most of which were fake, and he had more affinity for the magic, though uncontrolled, was because he had gotten in. They had gotten into some of the, basically the Eisuke had stored, at one point Eisuke in his trauma had tried locking away his ability and sealed a bunch, just tried sealing it up in his room or something, I think. But basically there was a physical version of it in the room that was like a powder that the twins got into, and I think Zane had said that he wanted to be more like his mom. I think that was how that happened. They never actually knew that was what happened, I don't think. Because I don't think they actually knew what it was. Hey, Doomsday Duck. God, Eisuke was such just... Can't remember if there was a catalyst for why they stuck in. If there was, like, someone threatening illusion or not. I don't know. I just knew Eisuke could shoot. Eisuke is one of my favorite characters. He's such an idiot, and just in the best way. But God, he was not supposed to be a character. It took me so long to figure out how to not only balance his powers in a way that wasn't just completely just disruptive to everything, but also really figure out how to write him. Doomsday Duck, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Welcome back to the welcome to the library. Enjoy your emotes and ad-free viewing. I hope you enjoy your time here. We're just rambling about old characters. He decided that for me. Yes, he did. Because he was always there to... Basically, he was a plot device to... Because the stories tended to run slower than real-life time went. Sometimes you wanted to change something about your character but had no reason in universe, and it's just like, here's a Deus Ex Machina. This kid who changes his appearance every day and can just alter things. But when Clover's new character... No, it was when Helena came in. Clover's character went and found Helena. And Helena wasn't a shapeshifter. But they had Eisuke make her a shapeshifter. And through that thread, the initial roots of Eisuke becoming an actual character happened. And that is why those three were always together. Hecking... Trying to figure out how to write him... It's not like I actively tried to figure out how to write him, but it took me a while to learn how to write him. In that his problems, his struggles, aren't typically physical. Sanosuke, that's it. But his struggles tend to be more personal, mental, and such, because when it comes to physical stuff, he could just wave his hand and fix anything. But when it comes to dealing with people, or loss, or stuff like that, his powers don't do anything for him. Poor boy literally got so depressed at one point that he basically created a box in his head and shoved a bunch of memories in there and threw away the key. Because he had gotten so depressed that I could not use the character and I needed him to basically have a reset. And he is the only character that could literally do that. It was sad. And those memories are just permanently in that box. He can't get them back. But he was so depressed, and he didn't do anything. I couldn't figure out any way of naturally helping it. Because so many people went inactive and a lot of plot points were just suspended. And certain things never resolved. And between certain things that were in motion not resolving, implying certain outcomes happened because they were never stopped, mixed with just the inactivity, meaning that there had to have been some reason for them to have just disappeared. And when a different character is so tightly ingrained into when your character is so tightly ingrained with another character and that other character just disappears, you can't just continue on like nothing happened. It was well, that's what happened to Chris too. Chris was introduced with trust issues with adoption and stuff because of his form, particularly his hands. He was also designed to just be a representation of a more chaotic result of the Cursed City. But he didn't have thumbs or anything, so a lot of people really had difficulty like raising him and such. And that was before he had the more dexterous tail that he could use. So he had mistrust in the foster system and such, because he had kept being bounced around. And then he got adopted by a werewolf with another character there as well, that over time he kind of really started to regain some trust there. But then, if I remember right, they were kind of power gaming and trying to write in things that were too powerful for how low power of a setting it was. And when we tried addressing it with them, they got angry and left. But that literally meant that Chris was then left abandoned. Where are the window pictures? They would completely negate what other people wrote and just solve long plot threads in one post. And they from their very first post after their intro post, they were just like, oh yes, my character has completely taken control of all the crime, the crime world in the city. And climb their way up to the top and put themselves in charge of it, so they have all the resources they need to do this and that. And it's just like, hold on, that's a bit much. But Chris, the character, had gotten attached to them. He had started to open up, so when they disappeared, and I continued to use Chris, I couldn't just acknowledge that they disappeared, so I wrote it into the story. That he started waiting for them to return, telling himself that they would. And I think that was on December 19th, 2014. Okay, so this was over a year later. It was about year and a few months. I just did a follow-up that was just called They Won't. And this one only makes sense if you had the context of the previous image. It is why Chris absolutely hates quote-unquote family. I'm so sorry, Rano. Yeah, if someone close to Chris were to say, I consider you like family, Chris would be like, don't you insult me like that. This is not what I was looking for. I'm sharing this, because this was my first piece I got drawn of Chris by someone else. This is by Rano. And it's what popped up right at the very top when I searched for, Mike? my goal was not to make all my characters sad, and not all of them were sad. Nameless, for example, like, Nameless ended, like, had a pretty good thread. Got a family, he got to retire, he just got to, like, go on vacations. But Acegate and Chris in particular just went through a lot. Gosh, I remember back super early on in Galaxy Void, when Nameless was my only character. I think it was like you and Leo were talking about stuff in one of the out of character threads, and it's just mentioning everyone's username. But then when it got to me, instead of mentioning my username, everyone just called me Nameless. And I'm just like, that's my character, not me. But I was so known for just having that one character. As long as no one thought about how his wife and kids would outlive him. Didn't they, like, try to find a way to at least extend his life? Wasn't that part of why they went to Lodione? Yeah, at one point people were doing like these character sheet things. And I decided to do one for Chris. But because of previous conversations, that's why I was like, you know what? No. Family, it's just getting straight up just torn out. Chris, Chris started turning to crime for a bit to try to earn money, but then Risa basically told him that if he kept doing that, she couldn't be friends with him anymore. So that was when he started. He found the courier job that was like the parkour and such. He just delivered letters. What was in the letters wasn't always above board. But the job itself, he was just being paid to do a service. Male people don't know what they're delivering anyways. Exactly. Hey Blaze, how you doing? Where is that drawing of Chris delivering a letter and like hanging from the window? Here it is. Oh yeah, this is because the site started in the year 200. No, it wouldn't have been 200. Would have been a few years after that. No, Chris is in his 20s now, because Chris ages in real time, so it would have been shortly after the year 200 then, or right around it. But 8 years since the last time you gained another change from this cursed place. 9 years since the last time. Yeah, because he stopped changing when he got turned into a werewolf. He wanted to get out of the Crystal District by the time he was 25. Mild sunburn. No, I hope I hope it's not bad, and I hope you're able to like put stuff on it to help. But I like this sketch. It doesn't show a whole lot, but it just implies. Because a lot of Shattered Glass is rough, and that's why Chris gets paid well to deliver the mail that he does, because it's stuff that standard mail people won't deliver. It's just like, Marcus downstairs giving you trouble again. He's huge, and I don't want to take that punch again. The thing is, Chris is tiny. Chris is like 5 foot flat, I think. But he's got the advantage of the werewolf in him, which he can sometimes use. Depends on how, it depends on the phase of the moon. He, like, the closer it is to the full moon, the stronger the werewolf form gets, but also the less controlled it is. If it gets close enough to the full moon, he can actually willingly pull it out, whereas normally he can't. Which is kind of what he's doing here. He's using it to just intimidate someone. Full moon is in 2 days. Do you really want to do this? I liked this sketch enough over here that I did cross-hatching over it. I said, copy image, create new from clipboard. Yeah, let me do my wellness check real quick. And you can just have some Chris watering a plant. Yeah. Hey, Jesse. Really well drawn werewolf, Chris. Thank you. Occasionally, I can remember how to draw animals. Most times, not. I could probably remember how to draw them easier if I used references. Instead, I just keep erasing and redrawing it until it looks correct. As correct as it can be. His werewolf form's always lopsided because, it has one cat ear and then the wolf ear. And even the fur is different over here because in the normal form, that's where he has fur on him. Yeah, his werewolf is always mismatched. Has more chest in it than it normally does in this one. But I draw his werewolf form different every single time anyway. I go to Toy House, I can probably find some more of the werewolf forms. Characters, Crystal District, Chris Phoenix. I didn't draw this one, but I still like this image here. I was incorrect. There are not more images. Oh, I mean, there's technically this image of his werewolf form. Oh, I forgot that he. I forgot about Howl, or Howell, Shark Teeth Boy. Yeah, that one, him I remembered whose OC he was, because I remember Tem and I, after the site fell apart, we continued discussing how this would go for a while after. This one I'm just sharing because I found it again, and have angry potato Chris. Okay, Ko-fi Streambot. I reconnected the Ko-fi bot today, and in the past I had it turned off, like those reminders turned off. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that again. But like, some Werewolf Chris. Here's a Werewolf Chris. Here's Werewolf Chris. This one was drawn by my little brother. Here's a Werewolf Chris. Where is like the beast deforms without the chest? No. My organization of Chris stuff is so bad. Bro has really cute stuff. He does. I don't know. Have a comic instead. Completely unrelated to the werewolf. But just these two being dorks. All right, this was oh, heck, how many years ago was this? Oh, this was probably back in like 2019. Have like the one time I tried drawing Chris in a binder. And I was. The thing is, I don't know binders very well. I'm trans femme, not trans masc. As far as I'm aware, don't they normally like go over the head kind of thing? Like it wouldn't work with the wings. Here I have the wings cut out a little bit, so the binder could be like done in the back. But I don't know, it never worked logically in my head, so I didn't stick with it. Maybe there's types I don't know about. I've never remembered to follow through on it because I don't draw Chris that much anymore. Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember the year. It's right there. A full binder. A full binder. Wait, what's a full? I'll have to look that up later. Oh. There's Chris giving the middle finger with the tail. I forgot I drew that. Chris was angry at somebody. Yeah, this is all really old stuff. I don't know where the other werewolf stuff are. I know I've drawn Werewolf Chris a bunch of times. Maybe I've just never uploaded them. Oh, here's a Werewolf Chris. I guess the beast form does normally have a bit of chest. Just normally not as big as the other one. It's like even here it has a little bit. Chris was angry at somebody. Isn't that kind of a lot of Chris's life? Yes, yes it is. Chris is an angry little bean. You only know of it because you're fiance to be... Like, that makes sense. Full binder covers the entire torso. It helps create a smooth front for fuller chest. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't think Chris knew that was a thing. I don't... Like, it is a fictional story. We can write in whatever stuff we want for the setting. So I guess we say, like, the Crystal District was very restrictive on resources and stuff. It's just like, no, it's fictional. We can just write in what we want. Friendly reminder, you cuties, Friendly reminders, you cuties, catching cross-hatched Chris cat werewolves are all loved and appreciated. You sweet beans are important. You're all cute, handsome, beautiful, and you're doing your best. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, not even yourself. Please make sure you sippy food, eat water, and watch out who you mess with so close to a full moon. Have a cookie. You deserve it. Love you all. Thank you, Blaze. I love how you always tailor them to whatever's going on the stream. The Seas just magic themselves how they wanted because it's your world and you can do what they want. No, that makes sense. And I know I have a character that has done that, but my brain is drawing a blank on who it is. Oftentimes I just struggle with it because my brain is so trained into the... Well, you're not allowed to just want that, and if you do want, you're not allowed to just have it. That'd be cheating. My brain is mean, and I blame my parents for it. Is this the one where Chris talks about his parents? Oh yeah. Son of Arter and Svetlana Phoenix. God, I use the heavy accent too much with Chris. I always forgot that. When incorporating things going on in the stream, like I always appreciate your messages. I think the reason Chris has the accent that he does is because I looked up where, like, the last name Phoenix to see where it would have been from. Because the Crystal District was all immigrants. Or not, like, the Crystal District was originally filled with people that came from several different countries for the experimental stuff that was happening there. And the last name Phoenix comes, I think, from, like, Fenwick or something. Fenwich. And it ended up just... It is a, like, changed version of... I think it went back to a Russian name, and I think that's why he has, like, the Russian accent. Hey, sis. How's it going? To get back to what I was supposed to be working on. But I'm going to share one last Chris drawing before I go. With all the angry Chris, have a happy Chris. Actually, have two happy Chris's. You're fine. This happens all the time. I also just like looking through and talking about old characters. Nirai. What was even going on with you? I don't remember. I think you were an artificially created person. I think you were created in a lab. You were heckin' like 7 feet tall. He was also going to be in a comic. Comic that had like 2 pages, I think, was drawn. I was so good at comics back then. Definitely. I think he was in the very first... No, he was his own separate comic. You yelled lore out loud. Help. I'm not gonna help. I'm just gonna look at you and go, morph. To make you want to draw more morph lore. Still contemplating doing art fight? You made an account, but you still need to finish the certain piece before you even consider making more art. I don't know what I'm gonna do for art fight. I'm gonna try my best. But yeah. If you're even considering it, go ahead and make the account. There's no punishment for having an account, joining a team, and then not having the opportunity, like, not being able to follow through with it. You're now stuck saying morph out loud? Good. Anytime I see Morph, I think about how happy you got the first time you heard me saying his name. You still love, remember you say it like that? I think a few times I was staring at him, your brain just started repeating me saying his name like that. Like, I don't remember exactly how I said it back then. I was just saying it, like, because I saw his name, it was just Morph. And, it was just... My brain saw it and associated it with Morph from Treasure Planet. So I was like, just like, Morph. Morph. He has been chosen, but he probably won't. Oh, team has been chosen. A certain piece. Please, I told you, you don't have to. I appreciate it, but... Also, Rano, I still need to get you back for last year for this. Such a good sow. Oh, I know that's not drawn with the caveat of getting art back. I just really like it. And, I don't know, it was a very pleasant surprise to see it when we only just started talking again so recently at the time. I lied, I'm gonna show off one more image just because, like, this was before I made Sierra's tail very long, canonically. None of the references had Sierra have, like, the long dragon tail. This image may have partially convinced me to give Sierra the very long tail. This image also convinced me to find the artist and commission them for a second piece, and they're just like, I don't know how to do commissions. This, I guess? And so the other piece the piece I commissioned from them was this one of Aota. Your Homeboy Boy's tail. Would give you a question. Oh my gosh. Style is so crunchy, like the best way. You love, right? I don't follow them because they only post on Instagram and I don't use Instagram. But I love the style, and I'm going to link their hecking Instagram for any of you all that do use Instagram because they deserve it. Oh no, I didn't post it to Toy House. Okay, let me find it in my Art Fight DMs. Oh, they have a Twitter now too. I don't know if they post there, but they have it linked. Oh, that's a very different art style and content now. It's all like Bivsy pop stuff. Interesting. Oh well, still giving credit to the artist. I just didn't expect that. Anyway. Well, we've been productive today, just not on the things we expected to be. Oh, manage characters. I just want the characters. Let's grab Dragon. I've had fun, and the title of the stream is probably going to be inaccurate. Can I say that if I didn't use this image for if I hadn't used this image for my BRB screen, I would probably use this as my stream is offline screen. And if I ever change the BRB screen, I will probably still use this for the stream is offline screen. It's just such cozy vibes. Yeah, that was done by Dazzle. Yeah, that works. Most of the sheet is purple, so Sierra's colors tend to be purple and red, so let's use... See how bad it is if I use some red for... Okay, yeah, we'll use the purple. aka a good bean. Dazzle is a good bean. Dazzle is another person that I gave artistic freedom with my character, and they're just like, okay, we're making this character big. And that was this one. And I liked it so much I had to get some follow-ups. I got this one. Which is where it was decided that the reason that the dragon is so big right now is because the anchor pearl got damaged. There is this one of the anchor pearl getting damaged and the dragon getting bigger. And then this, when I got the one with the boat, Dazzle had given me 2 sketch options. This one or one, Dazzle had sent me this. I had the option of getting the wave or the sleeps. I got the wave and decided I would get the sleeps later. But before I could, Turga got it for me as a gift. Makes Sierra's mane so fluffy, love it. Dazzle draws very good fluff. Dazzle's not here right now to defend themselves, so go check out Dazzle's stuff. Where's Dazzle's actual website? Grabby the pearl and runs away. Nobody has given the plush the pearl this stream. So now plush no longer has orb. Did plush ever have the orb? This stream, I mean. I don't think it is. Dazzle on joining our fight. Found you. Follow. You have stolen orb, plushie cannot have orb. Oh, understandable. I guess we're gonna have to do... Where is...
Oh no!
Oh, Autumnkill, thank you so much for the 2 months of hacking focus on OBS. Thank you for 2 months of Prime subscription. Welcome back to the library. Enjoy your emotes and ad-free viewing. How you doing today? This one will work. All right. is this so blurry? I was gonna make it this one, but it just came out very okay. Apparently, it's nothing. There you go. Orb. I'll even do this for you. Kofi bot, please. Stop that. I do need to move this a little bit this way then. Okay, Kofi, come here. We are fixing this. Oh my gosh. Settings. Never. Stop telling people to go to my Kofi. Sorry, I got annoyed at that. Perceives the Kofi. Yes, correct. Go perceive a Kofi. I knew that was coming. I love that I also successfully got you to just shout at it anytime I do that, because your command only works if you do it in all caps. Hey, Daku. And hey, Watcher. How you guys doing? Did I pick my targets? Oh, no, I don't pick my targets in advance. That is not how the Sierra brain works. Prepping for targets for art right now in EP. Yeah, when art fight actually starts, I'll go and look. Maybe I'll see who I can revenge attack from last year. Maybe I'll see what friends I've never drawn before. I think that's going to be one of my big targets, is new friends that I haven't drawn before. Like, a lot of people have gotten art from me. There's a lot of people that I should have drawn art for by now that I just haven't. Renry, what are you doing liking my uploads to Ko-fi? That's just silly. I'm just getting follows on Sounds like a rune. Oh, I got a screm from Runery because I commented on their profile page. I just got a screenshot of it later that day. It just screams. I'm still not sure why. Still not sure why I got a screm in response to that. And it's actually, before I say that, I need to double check. Yeah, it's still not sure why Morph isn't going to be an option for me to attack. But system is there, so that's good. Low-key just love that one of systems ref is just the screen texture. Also, Wearable, thank you so much for 42 months of subscription. Which character with big bappers will you draw this time? Ace-Gay, probably. Need to draw more of Ace-Gay. He deserves more art. Ace-Gay and Cross both deserve more. Because, like, I can't turn Ace-Gay into one of the avatar redeems, because Ace-Gay is a bit too much of his own thing. It would feel kind of odd. Where... ironically, for the longest time, Ace-Gay was the character that paralleled me the most IRL. Completely unintentionally, but because of how he was being written. He got friends at the same time as me because I made the friends through him making friends, and he lost friends at the same time because he lost the friends because, well, I didn't lose the friends, but I lost contact with them because they kind of had to move on with adult stuff. Just like real life stuff came up, and eventually a roleplay forum just wasn't the priority. But me being autistic and everything, super struggled with that. Every year you have drawn one of my characters as Big Bappers. Never too much Ace or Cross, agreed. I think Ace did get drawn once so far on Art Fight. Oh no, he's gotten drawn at least twice. Let's see, Ace Gay attacks. Yeah, he's gotten drawn twice. Hi, Abby. First one is this one. And second, come on, hand. Stop it. Why are you hurting? I haven't even started properly drawing yet. And the second one was this one. Where's my Tiger Balm? I think both of these were last year. Let me double check. 2022 was this one, and the other one was 2023. Welcome back, Cap. If I remember right, Ace Gay is probably not Ace Gay. Chris has probably gotten a few more. No? Chris only has one? Oh, that's right. No, cause Brisk didn't draw Chris for Art Fight. Brisk drew Sierra for Art Fight. So the only Chris one was drawn by my brother. Which, to be fair, Chris has a design that probably intimidates people. I gotta show something off. I had to go find it. Hold on. I don't think I'm gonna be able to draw anyway because my hand hurts, and if I if I push it further, that's not gonna be good. So I'm taking this opportunity. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. So Zaihi and Ghost have been doing describe and draws where Ghost will get someone's character and just describe it bit by bit to Zaihi to draw it. Not allowed to say any species names or anything. And then once the sketch is drawn, just the different colors are given, and then Zaihi chooses where to put those colors on the design. I submitted a few to it. And Chris was one of them. And I just like how it came out. I thought it was really cool. It's they didn't Zaihi didn't quite get what Ghost is trying to say about the other leg because they're not allowed to say species or anything. So Zaihi just took it as, oh, okay. So the character doesn't have a leg. But it's just like, I don't know, it's really neat. I wanted to share it. Like, if you remove the fur colors, it is surprisingly close to Chris. So where did the yellow come from? Oh, yeah, Chris has a yellow eye. That's it. Because Chris has one yellow, one blue eye. All right. Oh, I gotta do this last part at the bottom. I want to do a describe and draw at some point. I think it could be fun. I don't think any of my characters would count as monster that I have an art fight. Monster is such a vague term that the autism brain that's taking things literally is struggling to process. Like, what do you mean by monster? I definitely have Anthro. I definitely have a feral. This one here. And I definitely have human. And someone gender bend which character? Friend? I mean, friend's non-binary, so it's. I think I'm going to say probably not on that. You can go for. You can go for like a more feminine body type if you want. But I'm gonna say, like, no, like, clearly defined, full feminine presenting kind of thing. Like, don't put boobs on Fred, please. Yeah, if you want to go for, like, more of, like, I don't know, androgynous, feminine leading general shape, that's fine. Because friend is non-binary, therefore friend can be drawn anywhere, like within a range. When I hear monsters, I think of just like horror character kind of things, because like you could argue that this one's also a monster. But this falls under feral. This one falls under anthro. Does Lodione count as a monster? Wait, would it is certainly not any defined species, but it's not exactly scary. You feel like the monster has a horror connotation in this case? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I don't think I have any of those. So I'm going to say no. Monster, creature, mythical being, it depends on how you're feeling. Oh, you guys, most of that was hit by the dragon anyway. All right, I think I'm done here. I've edited the icon to at least have the Sierra colored eyes. I did not finish the updated Sierra ref in time for Art Fight. That's fine. I'll have it for next year. I'm gonna wrap up a little bit early because, again, I don't feel like I can draw. Unfortunately, if my hand is sending me little bits of pain, that means if I push myself to start drawing, it's gonna give me not little bits of pain. So, yeah. Also, I just remembered, like, in regards to a question earlier, someone was asking about gender bending, friend. Most of my characters, like, all my Art Fight, my general permissions for my characters is, unless otherwise stated in character permissions, no transformation-based stuff. Certain characters it's allowed for. Sierra, it's allowed for. Eisuke, Cat, both allowed for. I think those are the main ones that have it allowed. But honestly, most of my characters are separate from my transformation interest. Either that or, like, they were the result of a transformation and that's that. Like Sao or the Glitch Saber. Transforming Seer into well hydrated. Okay, I shall drink. Iki found definitions. Oh. What did Iki find? Also, why did my wrist buzz at me? Monster, an OC that is a beast or being that doesn't fall under the other categories. Eh? It's not like it has human and animal here. It has feral and anthro. I mean, like, I guess something like a tar doesn't fit into either, or like a centaur, I guess. Pharaoh's meant to be like a full animal. Well, like the Glitch Saber. The Glitch Saber is a full animal. Like a fox, so Glitch Saber may technically be a monster. Okay, but then what about Wilson? Wilson is just a wolf, but a very big wolf. A very big wolf who I'm still annoyed that I accidentally drew one of the paws backwards. I gotta add this to Art Fight as a reference. I do genuinely love this image, even though I messed that up. Alright, so I shall change it to say, yes, I have monster as well. I did kind of like my little doodle that just said, define monster. Alright, does this look okay? I expected this to take like 30 minutes, but you think still keeping that is fair? And I'm still keeping it. Is that because that amuses me more? But Iki, thank you for finding the description. I'm gonna be honest though, it's, like, even with the description, it's still just like, it doesn't fall into the other categories. Like, come on. I gotta do more time lapses. I think this is the most recent piece I've done a time lapse for. They're like one of the very few things I put on my YouTube channel. I used to put gameplay footages up there, but like from streams. But I want to put them on a separate account so that the my main page isn't flooded out and I can put art stuff there. Alright, let's go see who is live. Who can we raid today? Oh, hi dear. You're home early.
I went to work.
All right. How you doing? Good. Good. Love you. Let's read Zaihi. Don't forget, everyone, to get your box rule. Anyone that is new when we raid out, we don't have like a singular raid message that everyone uses. Everyone gets their own fox rule using the fox rule command, and that will be your raid message. We're going to go raid Zaihi, who has been streaming for 6.5 hours, but I can't comment too much because I went for 11 hours on Wednesday, so I got a lecture about that from a friend after. Like, I gotta pay bills. But yeah, I thank you everyone for joining. I hope you had fun. I am going to probably go get some food. I will be back on Monday. And I will see you all then.